Was ist Desinformation? Darüber diskutierten Wissenschaftlerinnen, Journalistinnen und Politaktivistinnen aus Mittelosteuropa in Tutzing.
Okay, I'm Veronica Laputska. I'm half Belarusian, half Polish. Been born in Minsk, Belarus, based in Warsaw for the last 12 years. And I'm an expert and researcher on media and politics of memory and disinformation. There are some countries where the political will is present and governments genuinely are trying to deal with this issue, and Belarus is the opposite. Not only they're not resilient to foreign threats, but they're also interested in promoting their own, unfortunately, disinformation. So for this reason the situation is difficult, and also it's combined with a lot of pressure on independent media which could become, and which have been for a while an antidote for disinformation. Now when they are under pressure, many had to leave the country, many had to go undercover. Of course, it's much harder for them to provide information and timely, also, or objectively and regularly. I would say that there are a few very disturbing narratives. One of them is, of course, that our neighbours, Belarusian neighbours, Lithuania and Poland, Latvia, Estonia, Ukraine, Czech Republic as well, they are orchestrating revolution in Belarus, that they are paying to people who come out to protest, which is absolutely untrue. And because it actually led to, as you know, probably migration crisis at the border with Lithuania, Latvia and Poland already. So there are really a lot of efforts how the regime is trying to now to get a revenge towards the countries who were supportive and whom they like to portray as main managers and rulers, coordinators behind the protests, which were genuinely performed by Belarusians themselves. And also another very disturbing narrative, but here it's purely domestic disinformation, not the one which would coincide with the overall anti-Western information, is attack on groups of people who were active during the protest phase in Belarus, and it's a lot of time women, it's sportsmen, and most recently it was also a Catholic church. Recently there was a big scandal because they actually, one of the official newspapers published a page of painting, like photos they created of Catholic priests. It was just a painting with the crosses, which kind of gradually becomes swastika. And of course it was very much criticized by Catholic Church immediately, and to such an extent that even a few days there was a meeting with the nuncius from Vatican, and the Belarusian authorities had to say that actually we had nothing to do with this. This is, the newspaper, but they already had to apologize and so on. It creates kind of this ground of a lot of more damage, which can lead to really unprecedented consequences in Belarus and in the region. So I think this is what is the most disturbing thing. I would like to speak about domestic disinformation, which since last August, when protests started in Belarus, really took an unprecedented scale, and it's really scary. Starting from the story I've told you about, crosses, Christian symbols, converting and transferring them into swastika, finishing with terrible programs which are now broadcast by the state TV, where, for instance, there is a series of program where every time a TV presenter criticizes the opponent of the regime, and on the photo there is a photo of this person and the photo of the rope. So suggesting, yes, this thing that actually happening, suggesting that this person is an enemy, and this is what kind of enemy of the day or whatever. I don't watch, thankfully, these programs, but this is how they present it. And then there is this mixture of I don't know, I think it's a terrible combination of worst scenarios of Stalinist and like Nazi propaganda combined together and presented in now contemporary, and I think it's very scary, and I do hope that this will end soon, and we should do anything we can, I don't know, with our research, with the work we do, to provide alternative narratives and to show people that this is not okay to speak like this on the public TV, to show this kind of images, to name people saying some bad words really in public. So it's a shame that these people who do this, they don't realize this, that this, you know, something is a bad example for those children who watch TV. So this really has detrimental effect, and I think this is the most striking to me. So for Belarus, of course, the most I would say effective tool would be the support of independent journalism and independent media who have been able so far, even in very repressive and complicated circumstances, to deliver and provide objective information, objective materials, or timely materials. Now many journalists left the country. They had to work either from abroad or really go underground if they remained in the country. And I think this is the key, and this also was reflected in our recent research on disinformation resilience performed by the East Center, which I'm part of. All the experts we talk about in Belarus, they believe that media and online, they present the biggest, the largest resilience to foreign-led disinformation. And also what is helpful is, of course, social media. Ironically, in some countries it was a bad thing, but in Belarus it's good because social media in this circumstances of an overall repression of media sphere, they remained independent, even though Lukashenko probably would like to, and the Belarusian authorities, to block Telegram or some other channels. It's impossible, and these are those places where Belarusians can still receive some information, objective one and real facts. And I think as technology is still here, as long as there is no blockage of the internet, which did happen last year in Belarus, social media can also become quite important and actually constructive in this regard, as well as some influencers who do some videos on YouTube and on Instagram. So this is something quite unique for Belarus, and I think there is a chance of a good case and positive case about social media in Belarus, in that country. Thank you so much.